Hello, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about the starter homes are disappearing in America. Let's go over this. Starter homes are disappearing from the US. As you can see, starter homes are entry-level homes. The cheapest available new construction is built by mostly national builders and local regional builders within the US. As you can see, over the past 40 years, we had a very, very big benchmark, very high benchmark, way back in 40 something years ago. As each decade goes by, there is less and less low level, affordable, starter, entry level new construction homes. As you can see, this is a historical low going through, even go into the last few years, as you can see. So, we're talking starter homes, typical cookie cutter, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square foot, as you can see. Here's a look at the US housing market, year over year home price appreciation. Home prices keep going up pretty much in many parts of the country, with very few exceptions. So the death of the starter home, as reported by CNBC recently, and as we talking to you right now in 2025, the death of the starter home construction, again, back in the 70s were very high, like 450,000 at the highest level back in 1976 to 1980. And then has been pretty much steadily going down over the last several decades, as you can see. So this is an epidemic. We're talking high demand and low supply, and this is what we're seeing. This is the new normal. This is unless we can find some supply of inventory, anything happening anytime soon, is going to persist for the remainder of this decade and even beyond, in my opinion. Part of the reason why is the zoning laws, right? It's very, very restrictive. Every city, every local county government, the zoning law consists of typically, the height limit of a particular single family home, the available of the lots, how much more space beyond the structure, and all the horizontal barriers that create a particular lot, particular house. So the most restrictive zoning codes are the following top 10 are in the Washington, D.C. area, Virginia, which I used to live when I was younger, when I was in active duty U.S. Army. And then New York City, most of them are, Providence, in Northeast, Pacific Northwest, West is Seattle, of course, Florida, right here in the Gulf Coast. And then back to Milwaukee in the upper Midwest, and down here in Miami, number 7, Detroit, Boston, Springfield, just to name a few of places that have a lot of restrictive zoning codes that will prevent any consistent construction of new homes over the years, as opposed to the least restrictive zoning codes are the following in San Antonio, number 1, number 2, Oklahoma City, number 3, Columbus, Ohio, number 4, San Diego, number 5, Pittsburgh, Des Moines, Iowa, number 6, Rochester, New York, number 7, number 8, Denver, number 9, New Hampshire, and number 10, Atlanta, Georgia. My opinion, whenever you have least restrictive zoning codes, we see a growth. We see that particular market have a lot of growth potential. There's a lot of positive associated with that. Many of you might know California, where I live for the past several decades in San Francisco Bay Area. California in general have very, very restrictive zoning codes they're creating a lot of difficulty in building new homes, a lot of layers and layers of delays. And of course, the political environment in California is very challenging, to say the least. Buying a home versus renting, the rental payments are quite a bit lower than buying because of the skyrocketing of home prices in the past few years, as well as the elevated mortgage rate that will create a mortgage payment is a lot higher than necessary. Therefore, it's creating several decades of affordability issues. Renting at this very moment, as we are moving into 2025, is average rent across the U.S. average is around $2,000 to own a home, to own a medium price home in the U.S., typically $400,000 single family home. We include the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. It will be almost $3,000. We're talking, wow, we're talking 50% increase. Renting versus buying. In essence, this is the renters nation. We're facing the greatest renters nation in the history of America, at least in the past 30 to 40 years. A lot of people are renting instead of buying for reasons are very, very obvious to all of us. So the American dream is pretty much going down the toilet. Price versus wages. The past 13 years, from 2010 to 2023, home prices have increased dramatically to 114%. However, wages are lagging way behind at a mere 50% in the past 13 years. When you have a wage to home price increased disparity, that creates buying homes affordability issues will persist, right? Less and less people are able to buy houses. Now, back in older generation, back in the previous generation, the median age of the first-time home buyer is probably in their late 20s or early 30s. Now, in 2024 and beyond, 38 is the median age of a first-time home buyer. Just to show you. So home price increases in the past 4 years alone nationwide is 52.9% due to the pandemic housing boom with the historical low mortgage rate. That's what we're seeing. And in some locations, it's even higher than 52% home price appreciation in the past few years. And of course, we have a very high elevated mortgage rate around in the low 7% as of January 7, 2025. So things are not looking good. But investors, that's what I do. That's what we do within our network nationwide. Is almost 30% of shares of single-family home purchase are by investors. Investors are still very actively involved in the purchasing of single-family home for rental purposes. And average mortgage payment for a U.S. home buyer is pretty depressing to share this, especially not only you paying at a high mortgage rate, for the most part in a low 7%, 30-year fixed rate, and typically you need 10 to 20% down payment as a primary home buyer. As an investor, you have more flexibility, typically 20% down for investors to buy a home. But nevertheless, with the increases in property taxes in many areas of the country and the insurance premium increases we've been hearing, this is a top of mind, the insurance crisis that we are experiencing all over the country. The insurance premium on a typical home purchase will skyrocket. So therefore, this monthly payment you're seeing at $2,173 is going to be changed in an upwards spiral. More and more people will be priced out of buying a home because the monthly mortgage, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance is going up. Not necessarily the 30-year fixed rate mortgage itself, the interest payment, but the taxes and especially the insurance are really skyrocketing to very, very disturbing level, to say the least. And again, I just mentioned that insurance and taxes now cost more than a mortgage for many homeowners in certain part of the country, which is pretty mind-blowing. Mortgage payment share to taxes and insurance is like 1/3. 1/3 of your house payments consists of property taxes and insurance in many parts of the country, especially in the Midwest and the South and Southeast. So this is a lot of people are priced out of home ownership, which is the American dream as we are moving forward toward the rest of this decade. As you can see, this article shows that skyrocketing home values driving higher property taxes. When home prices increase, the local county, the assessor's office, they will reassess the property and they're going to increase the property taxes accordingly. So that is all kind of bad news, isn't it? And as certain states have higher property tax rate than others. We're talking Texas among one of them. We all need to do some research, right? In terms of where you want to live as primary home buyer or where you want to invest in as a real estate investor. That's That's what we do. 77% of the US households cannot afford to buy a medium price home. Isn't that, I don't know how else to say it, concerning, disturbing, disappointing, the percentage, different price tiers of different homes, and what's the percentage of the U.S. consumers can buy the lowest entry-level homes, right? 150K, more people are able to qualify to buy those low-level homes, you know, around here, right? This four category, 500K and below is pretty much entry level. Maybe not 500K, maybe over here, 400K or lower is entry level, which a lot of people can afford, but not enough entry level homes. And if you could homes that are higher than 500K, all the way up to 1.6 million, less and less people can afford to buy those. It's things when you have the Los Angeles wildfires on top of all those negativity out there, and the insurance premium is going to skyrocket in many areas of the country. So be careful where you pick and choose to live, to buy a primary home. You have to do more research and due diligence. Here's my personal top 6 in terms of whether you're a primary home buyer. If you want to buy for affordability, entry-level homes, they still exist in certain pockets of the U.S. I have my top 6, Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Alabama, and Tennessee have a certain elements of low property taxes or low insurance if you buy in the right location. This top 6, in my personal opinion, is that for our real estate investors, where to buy real estate property is for investors. The lowest affordable price with the highest rental for cash flow. That's what we do. We buy turnkey cash flow rental properties in these areas for our investors. So, but the primary home buyers can also take advantage to buy in this particular region. So that's my takeaway for this. I'm going to say one more thing. I'll give you a little bonus here. What I'm trying to say is here are some of the investment properties that we promote for our investors, which is the numbers make sense, positive cash flow, and all that. We like Texas, especially North Texas. Here are some of those new construction homes that we're promoting off market for our investors. We have builders rate buy down. We're going to buy down your mortgage rate. We're going to pay you, no property management fee for the first year. We can pay 2% of your closing costs, and with a mortgage rate of 5.75%, you will cash flow at 25% down payment. And this is a pro forma. I'm not going to go over too much of this. You can pause the slideshow, but there's only one market we promote for our real estate investors. Let me fast forward and give you the other market we promote. Look at some of these homes. $150,000 new construction home rental property in Oklahoma, that cash flow. We have many markets in Oklahoma, the suburbs, small town USA, also South Texas, fourplex, which is only for $549K. We work with the national builders and regional builders because our network is very large. We can help our investors do a volume discount, and we negotiate with the local builders in those markets. We buy entry-level homes for our investors so they could enjoy their cash flow and the rental market and long-term appreciation. See, Alabama, good properties, cash flow at 25% down payment in various sub-market locations in Alabama and Indianapolis, outside the suburbs of Indianapolis, Indiana. Look at the numbers yourself. You'll see the great numbers, great cash flow. Let me fast forward. I know Central Texas, we have a relationship with builders out there so they could reduce their prices to our group of investors from out of state. They can give us a great deals. All these are great deals. This is the best asset class, build to rent. And Florida as well, all this great pricing below market value. Builders rate buy all the builder incentives, as I spoke about it, and everything's positive cash flow at 25% down. This is truly amazing. I'm not going to go any further. And we have so many markets we help investors pursue. But at the end of the day, whether you are a primary home buyer, wherever you're located in the U.S., or whether you're an investor, the starter homes are really is very hard to make it work A lot of national builders, they don't want to build startup entry-level homes because their profit margin is being squeezed. So consequently, over the years, they're building a higher price new construction homes, 500K, 800K, where, where only the super wealthy can afford to buy those homes, because that's how builders make their money when they build larger homes. And, very few builders are built starter homes because, again, because of the low profit margin, but they still do it out there. So that's why we have our network of thousands of real estate investors within our network. We bring the high volume, motivating investors. We negotiate with the national builders in a specific market. And also we work with the regional local builders in the various submarkets in those good locations, and we get some good deals for our investors. So if you want to learn more about what I've just said, please go ahead and just put down your email on my website below, and register your email on the newsletter box, and you'll become a investor insider within our network. You become a free member of our organization. You'll receive ongoing daily email newsletters to go over various investment opportunities, as well as, general real estate news. You'll learn how to become a true real estate investor. Other than that, if you receive any value associated with watching this video, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, so you will get frequent weekly updates in all aspects of the housing market and real estate housing market. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next video. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.